Hi, friends. Now that we are experts in the book, Ida Always, we're going to really zone in on some words or phrases that help us describe the character's feeling or anything else happening in this story. That's one of our first grade standards, that we can find words or phrases that help describe feelings. Behind me, I have a bridge map. Can you say a bridge map? Good job. Did you do your gesture? Say, bridge map. Good job. Bridge maps help us see relationships, how things are connected. In bridge maps, we always have a relating factor. Our relating factor shows the feeling of being. So I could put that phrase in between every line. So up here, I have a whole bunch of quotes. You'll see that I have them in quotation marks because they're right from the book. They're not Miss Lodato's words, they're the author's words. And so what I did was I picked out some quotes, and we're going to talk about what those quotes or what that part of the book, those words in the book, what feeling that shows. Because sometimes they don't say, the bear was happy or the bear was sad. Sometimes they give us hints in the words that we have to use our knowledge and the facts from the book or schema to figure out what feeling they're showing. So now, because we're in first grade, I have a challenge for you. When we're looking for feelings, I want you to stop thinking about happy and sad, because those are ones we can always use. So we're going to stretch our brains to think of some fancy words or ones that we can use to change it up. If Miss Lodato just said, this was happy, it might be a little boring. So let's try to stretch our brains to use some bigger words. All right, friends. So here is my first quote. It says, he sat in their spot and waited and waited. So when I'm trying to figure out what a quote means, I put myself in the character's shoes. So if I'm sitting in my spot and I'm waiting, how am I feeling? So, Now I know that in the book he's all by himself. He's waiting and waiting for Ida. So I want to say that the character probably feels lonely. If I'm sitting there all by myself, waiting and waiting, I feel lonely. So I'm going to write lonely underneath it. Lonely. So I can read this as, he sat in their spot and waited and waited. This shows the feeling of being lonely. All right, next quote. Let's look over at the quotation marks over here. Silly me. All right, it says, his insides churned. Now, our insides really don't churn. But if it's your insides, which are right here, which I think is my belly, I'm going to say that it doesn't feel so good if it's churning. I have an upset belly. And his chin shook. So when I think about when chins are shaking, I think like sometimes I might be crying. And sometimes when I'm crying, my belly does hurt. Sometimes I cry so much, my belly starts to hurt. So I'm going to read that again, and let's think of a feeling word or an emotion. His insides churned, and his chin shook. I'm going to say, with all that going on, it would show the feeling of being upset. Upset. Now, I could write sad, but because I want to challenge myself, I think upset is a good synonym, but a little bit of a stronger word. All right, here's my next quote. They stomped and snarled. If you're stomping, go ahead, stomp. And snarled. What kind of mood do you think you're in when you're stomping? Now I know when you were little toddlers, when you stomped, you were not happy. Usually it's if you don't get your way. Maybe you're what? Angry. Or it shows the feeling of anger. All right, around and down, coming back. They let their laughs bounce back and forth. Now, do laughs really bounce back and forth? No, they can't, unless it's an echo. So, but if I'm laughing and then you laugh and then I laugh again and you laugh again, I can say that we're happy. But I also know when we get a fit of the giggles, I say that we are silly. Silly. It's a good feeling word. Next one. And days that mix them up. Days that mix them up. Now sometimes, I don't know if a day can really mix us up, but you know, like in your brain when you mix things up all the time and you feel mixed up? What do you think? I think it was how they felt confused. So it might be a whole day that just left them confused. They didn't know what was going on. And sometimes that can happen. So confused. Confused. All right, my last one is the very last quote of the book, Ida Always. It says, and Ida is right there, always. So that's at the end. Gus is looking up into the sky. He's saying, and Ida is right there, always. If he's saying that she's always there, I think he's feeling happy knowing that she's always there in his heart. But I also think he feels peace, knowing that his friend will always be with him. So I think that is an excellent feeling word. Peace. Now, in the book, Ida Always, there are tons and tons of phrases that show feeling. Miss Lodato just chose to pick 6 quotes from the book that show feelings. So, tomorrow, you are going to talk and write about a feeling that Gus had and give evidence. So always make sure that you go back and you can rewatch the video. I would highly recommend it. And look for words that show feelings. I hope you learned a lot about all the feelings that are shared in books, even if they don't say them. It helps us figure it out. It's like we're detectives when we're reading. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.